imagine. I never even imagined there would ever be a situation in which the president of our country was celebrating hundreds of Americans losing their jobs. But somebody who took pleasure in that. That to me is the absolute opposite of what a leader of this country is supposed to do.
There's something created about him in a sense of bulliedom. But what he is, I believe, is a brat. I don't emphasize more. The absurdity of where his sentences might travel. You know, I mean, really, no. I mean, no. Because everything...
Trump's newest story doesn't start with a scandal or a press meeting. It starts with laughter. Not the nice kind, but the kind people make when something fake finally breaks apart. Jimmy Kimmel and Johnny Depp aren't just watching. They're talking about the big show called Trump's presidency that still hasn't ended. The funny part isn't that Trump is unpredictable anymore. It's that now everyone expects him to be unpredictable. It's the same chaos again and again. The audience already knows every joke before he even says it.
Our government is now officially shut down because we don't have funding to pay the federal workers. Trump really is running the country like it's one of his businesses. He said he would. Just to give you some perspective, the government being shut down is even worse than when it's up and running. Republicans would like you to believe that Democrats shut the government down, but the bill they wanted the Democrats to sign would knock out about 15 million.
Even if I don't own it yet, I'll have it. Reagan, back in the day, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Donald Trump. I'm going to build a wall. Fabulous wall. Sensational.
Kimmel begins with the obvious. Only Trump could turn being president into a reality TV show where every episode ends with him destroying his own reputation. It's like he's trying to host The Apprentice right from the Oval Office. But this time, the contestants are world leaders, and no one wants to work with him. His whole administration feels like an improv comedy act that ran out of ideas 2 years ago, but keeps going because the star refuses to leave the stage.
Win this election. If we had these people that were running, that were ruining our country, destroying our country with their open borders and men playing in women's sports and transgender from everybody and windmills all over the place.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I heard that correctly. What was that last item?
Windmills all over the place.
There'll be windmills all over.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Now, Depp joins in with a quiet smirk that says it all without speaking. He doesn't need to exaggerate. Trump already does that for everyone. The man could make a simple weather report sound like a campaign speech. 1 minute he's saying it'll rain. The next he's bragging that he invented the umbrella. The pride, the drama, the overconfidence, it's all there. It's like watching Captain Jack Sparrow explain money policy after 3 bottles of rum, except Trump's version is sober, which somehow makes it worse.
Jesus Christ, can we bring Trump here? No, just
Just give him some love and rehabilitation.
I think he needs... It's going to be in the press and be horrible. I'd like to do all the part of it. When was the last time?
At his latest rally, Trump's ego gave a standing ovation to Trump, but the crowd didn't. People started walking out halfway through when they realized it wasn't really a political event. It was a live therapy session for one man who just wants to be loved. Cameras showed rows of supporters leaving while Trump kept talking about how everyone loves him. Kimmel joked that it's the only concert where the performer argues with his own encore. Depp just laughed, knowing no movie director could ever stage something so delusional.
Every day he says something that would rank right at the top of the most ridiculous things any president has ever said. And the people who work for him, they can't get enough of it.
What a difference the presidency makes, Jesse, right? I mean, we are now totally over that destructive, stupid era of toxic masculinity. And now we're in an era of real masculinity, thanks to the bold, muscular leadership of President Trump and our Secretary of.
Then came Trump's economic genius move, announcing new tariffs on India and Mexico. It was such a wild idea that economists everywhere got instant headaches. He called it strategy. Everyone else called it self-destruction. Prices went up, trade partners got angry, and middle-class Americans wondered why their grocery bills looked like shopping at luxury stores. Kimmel mocked it as the art of the ordeal instead of the art of the deal. Depp called it performance economics, where applause matters more than results.
I'd say this visit from the daughters was a nice distraction for Trump from the fact that he is busy destroying the world economy. It was another terrifying day on Wall Street. The Dow was down, the S&P was down, cocaine was up. The S&P 500 has lost more than 10% of its total value since Thursday, costing Americans billions of dollars from their stock portfolios and retirement.
In true Trump style, the chaos didn't stop there. He sent troops to Chicago, saying he was restoring order. But it looked more like a campaign stunt than real leadership. Cameras showed him walking stiffly in front of the White House, pretending it was a bold move while ignoring what really happened. City leaders fought back, people protested, and Trump smiled, proud of the conflict itself. Kimmel called it leadership by loudness, where shouting counts as solving problems. Meanwhile, inflation became his new enemy, though he acts like it's a personal attack. At a press conference, he told reporters the economy was booming, even though every chart said the opposite. His team looked like hostages, nodding to fake numbers. Depp said it was method acting, but Trump didn't know the method. Kimmel compared him to a man trying to convince everyone that a sinking ship is really a new kind of submarine.
On Saturday, Francis Ford Coppola posted this AI-generated image of himself to celebrate his invasion of Chicago. Someone made it and called it Shipocalypse Now with the caption, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning." This is normal, right? Both sides do this. So you remember when Obama declared war on Orlando? Totally normal. You know, for a guy who dodged the draft, he sure does love fake pictures of himself in battle gear. He's a real AI Joe.
What makes this time so strange is that Trump doesn't just change reality. He auditions for it. Every appearance feels like a movie screen test that only he's directing. The story changes daily, but the ending's always the same. Trump wins. Everyone else loses. Facts twist, headlines bend. And the man who once called himself a billionaire genius now spends mornings explaining why everyone else is wrong. It's exhausting but hard to look away. Kimmel jokes that Trump's like a magician doing the same trick again and again, hoping no one notices the wires. The same lines, the same complaints, the same bragging. It's political deja vu, a rerun of a show nobody asked for. Depp sees it differently, like a movie that started as a comedy but forgot its genre. Too serious to be funny, too silly to be drama. Every scandal just mixes with the next until people stop caring. Trump still thinks every camera loves him. He walks into press rooms like he's walking a red carpet, fixes his tie like an actor, and says lines only he rehearsed. The show never ends because he doesn't know how to stop. To him, silence means failure. Attention is air. Kimmel calls it the loudest quiet in American history. A presidency that survives only through noise.
No, the author Michael Wolff, who has interviewed Trump repeatedly, says he's seen about a dozen photographs of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein with topless women. Trump's BF Jeff kept them in his safe and showed them to these guys. So this morning, Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse asked Bondi if the FBI found those photos.
Public reporting. Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right.
Didn't hear the word no there, did you?
Did you hear the word no in there? Nope. Depp calls the Trump era a slow-motion car chase. The car never crashes, but the driver keeps shouting he's winning. It's wild, tiring, and shows a man running fast, but going nowhere to AT Trump's rally. He even tried to change his own poll numbers. It turned into a roast of himself. He bragged about fake wins, attacked random people, and somehow blamed inflation, the media, and even the moon, all in one sentence. Kimmel said he turned the press briefing into an open mic night where logic died. Depp said it's more like performance art, except now the audience is too tired to clap. Every boast feels like a repeat. The show never changes. Only the props, due to Trump's tariffs on India and Mexico, caused global headaches. Economists warned about it, but he called it power. The result? Slower trade, higher prices, and angry countries. Kimmel calls it diplomacy of dominoes. One ego knocking over world cooperation. Depp compared it to watching a man play chess with himself and still lose.
Adam McKay, how would you like to do a feature film in 4 days? And I went, I like that idea. And he said, how would you like to play Donald Trump? And I loved that idea. I didn't care if I knew if I was capable or not. I wanted to try, so I did my bit with Donald Trump. They don't really trust foreigners. You don't want to be Donald Trump. It was difficult. He speaks real weird.
Yeah. Because the way he speaks is very specific.
Yeah.
Were you telling all the Mexicans to get off set?
I told them to build that wall. I'm going to build a wall. I want a sensational wall. Fabulous.
When Trump sent troops to Chicago, he said it was a mission of strength. The city said it was too much. People protested. Headlines exploded. And Trump smiled through it all. Kimmel noted that for Trump, chaos isn't trouble, it's content. Depp said Trump measures success by airtime, not results. Then came another press briefing about inflation, another masterpiece of denial. Trump talked about success, while prices kept climbing. His words didn't match the charts behind him. Kimmel joked it was the first time numbers looked embarrassed. Depp said it was like a movie set where the script keeps changing, but the main actor keeps going anyway. Trump keeps calling himself the savior of America, fighting enemies he made up. His self-story is like Shakespeare, except even Shakespeare's heroes didn't throw rallies just to praise themselves. Kimmel calls it the tragedy of applause, a man who can't live without cheers. Depp calls it a show stuck forever in rehearsal, always preparing, never delivering. Under Trump, the presidency feels like art no one wanted, a mix of pride, chaos, and denial. Every speech and decision feels like another act in a never-ending play. But behind the show, real problems grow. Prices rising, trade wars, and cities tangled in politics. It's entertainment, but with real damage.
Trump is now, after Chicago, he has declared Chicago to be the world's most dangerous city. That, of course, is based on statistics gathered by the worm inside RFK Jr.'s head. There are many cities with higher murder rates than Chicago, from red states, by the way, but you don't see him sending the National Guard in there. So far, Trump has been tougher on Chicago, LA, and Washington, D.C. than Russia, China, and North Korea combined.
Kimmel's jokes cut through the madness and show the truth. One day, Trump says he beat inflation. The next, his team admits prices are rising. He claims peace abroad while his tariffs start fights. He brags about a strong economy while Americans struggle to pay bills. The punchline writes itself, but Kimmel makes it sting. Depp's take is calmer but sharper. He doesn't see Trump as a leader, just a man desperate for a legacy. Every move Trump makes is about his image. It's sad, really. A performer who can't tell the difference between applause and respect. He thinks noise means success, but history can tell what's real. His grip on power is slipping, even as he pretends it's stronger than ever. His friends pull away, polls drop, but he keeps performing like the cameras will save him. Kimmel calls it the politics of never stopping. Always spinning, never moving forward. Depp says it's a self-portrait painted in denial. Every brush stroke another lie.
Here's the thing about Donald Trump. He doesn't care about money. He knows that there are more important things in life, like love. He's definitely flipping out. His once loyal gaggle of gazillionaires is turning on him because they're losing so much money. So today he wrote, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak, don't be stupid. That's right, be strong and stupid. Also, don't be a panicking. And then in parentheses, he explains that means a new party based on weak and...
At this point, Trump's presidency feels less like real leadership and more like a one-man show. He doesn't lead. He just tells his own story, rewriting it every day to stay the center of attention. His fans cheer, his critics sigh, and the world watches in disbelief. Kimmel sums it up perfectly. A man running a country as if it's an audition for eternal fame. But every show ends someday. The laughter, the cheers, the noise, all fade. What's left is the truth behind the act. Depp sees it clearly. Trump built an empire of attention, but forgot that attention isn't respect. Kimmel laughs, because there's nothing else left to do. The show's almost over, but Trump doesn't realize it. His press events full of bragging and blame show a man who wants applause, not answers. The tariffs, rallies, and troop orders all feel like scenes in a bad sequel that should have ended long ago. Every move proves one thing. Trump still believes showmanship can replace real leadership.
If he's looking to improve his approval numbers, I have an idea. Release the Epstein files. They did a poll on that too. A vast majority say they want to see the Epstein files. 77% of Americans want the Epstein files released, but 100% of our American president does not want them.
As Kimmel's jokes and Depp's dry humor mix, their message hits hard. This isn't leadership, it's runaway performance art. The main actor has forgotten his lines, the same old drama keeps replaying, and the audience is getting bored. Trump has become a character trapped in his own story, begging for applause that's almost gone. The curtain hasn't dropped yet, but the lights are dimming, and people are starting to leave. What once felt like history now feels like reruns. The world, tired but still watching, waits as the biggest political show of modern times drags toward its quiet ending. The applause fading, the stage shrinking, and only silence left behind.